Happy Saturday, you guys. The weekend is upon us. We have a different type of video for you guys today because we have a different kind of weekend coming our way. So what we have going on at the gym is a fundraiser where we have multiple different workouts over the course of the weekend. So what we're going to give you guys is a choice of what workout you want to do. I'll post the workouts on the workout description underneath. The warm-up that we're going to go through today is going to be more broad. That's going to get you ready for whichever one you pick. Alright, so the warm-up will take care of getting your body physically ready, kind of getting everything ready to go for a multitude of skills, and then whichever workout you would like to choose, then just do a little finer tuning perhaps with a couple of the movements just to get used to some of the ones that are there in the workout, and then tackle it and take it down. So what we have for you guys today, inchworm knee to nose for 3 to 5 reps, humeral glide to knee push-up for 3 to 5, into our forearm plank for 20 to 30 seconds, plank to bear squat for 3 to 5, for 2 to 3 rounds. Take your time, warm things up, get yourself fired up and ready to go. After that, we move into our Sumo Squat for 3 to 5, 3-1-3 tempo, into a dumbbell deadlift for 5, dumbbell / kettlebell swing for 5 to 7, into our jump squat, no load there, just a jump squat for 20 seconds, and dumbbell overhead hold for 30 to 60 seconds, 2 to 3 rounds. That's going to get everything ready, hips, shoulders, core, legs, everything kind of fired up to get you guys primed and ready for what's to come. After that, that's where you're going to have your time to practice any specific kind of movements you need for the workout you choose, and then you're going to take her down. So the workouts that I'm going to have posted for you, you're going to choose one out of these 4. So we have number 1, we have Cirillo, we have Jennifer, Frontline med staff, and OP Medusa. I can tell you flat out that most of these workouts are going to take you anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes. So keep that in mind. I will post the workout description and some finer tunings of each of these workouts, how we're going to take them down in the gym and over the weekend. So you guys have all the information necessary. But please feel free to contact me if you have any questions, and we'll get you squared away. But first things first, let's go through the warm-up, get you guys prepped and ready. Alright guys, let's get you guys warmed up. Let's get those feet under the hips. We'll take the arms big and tall. We'll reach it over to one side. We'll come back up and over to the other side. Come back up. We're going to scratch our back. Reach through the elbow. We'll come back up. Big stretch. Scratch your back. Reach through the elbow. Yeah, good. Big stretch. You're going to bring both arms down behind the neck. Pulling those ribs in. Press an elbow. Come down. Press an elbow, come down, elbow, back down, elbow, and down. One more time per side, elbow, down, and elbow, back down. Big stretch. Reach to one side, reach to the other side, come back to center, bring the hands down, step it out nice and wide into that wide stance position. We're going to squeeze our glutes, we're going to pull the hips back into that nice good morning. I'm going to stand up nice and tall with a big squeeze, opening up the hips. Pull back, stand tall, good, and pull back, and stand tall. Good, we're going to bring our feet a little closer together. We're going to take a big tall stretch up overhead, big reach, big reach, come back down, get you fired up. If you like to pause the video and do a little bit more gentle warm-up, like lizard lunge with rotation, some lizard lunge work, please do so. Take that down. I'm going to get you moving into that first phase and get you fired up. So our first exercise is our inchworm knee to nose. So I'm going to have to stand over to the side. I can choose to take the arms up big and tall overhead if I'd like, just to get a little extra shoulder love. I'm going to hinge, pulling my hips back. I'm going to walk my hands out into my plank. I'm going to pull my ribs and hips together, pressing my shoulders to the sky, pulling a knee to the nose, and coming back into my plank. I'm trying to keep my hips relatively level. My shoulders are going to round. But what we want to make sure is that we're trying to pull the knees right up under the body in between those arms. Big, tall stretch. And then I move back into that next round. So we've done these before, but I want you guys to really focus on how important it is to establish that good plank coming out of the inchworm before we start doing that knee to elbow, or sorry, knee to nose. So we want to make sure that that's all set, solid, and then choose to bring the knee up so we can get the most compression and the most kind of range possible. So take your time with those, you guys. You only got 3 to 5 reps of that. Ease in, take your time, and go slow. Humeral glide technique push-up. After that comes down, so we're going to lay on our stomach on the floor. So I get down here, nice and set. Hands are by the chest. I'm going to get from here, I'm going to pull my shoulders forward to where I don't want. And you'll feel your traps kick on a little bit extra. We'll pull them back. We should feel our lats kick on and our traps kind of turn off a little bit. We're going to pull our ribs and hips together, squeeze your glutes, press, keeping that shoulder down, keeping that core tight, and we're going to lower down, keeping the elbows stacked over top of the wrist. Then I relax, and I'm going to do it again. So I pull the shoulders to where I don't want, so I feel that sensation. Pull them back, so I set my position. Pull my ribs and hips in, press, and then maintain that good position as I lower back down. Very important to keep that core tight so that the chest touches down first and that hip and thigh kind of move together at the same time, not a belly to chest. We lower all as one. Excellent. From there, we move into our forearm plank. We're just going to keep it to a nice straight forearm plank today. So I get set up at my table. I'm going to bring my arms down, elbows under the shoulder, pressing through the shoulders. I'm going to get set in my plank. So I'm going to pull my ribs and hips together, press through those shoulders. I'm going to hold that nice solid hollow and just breathe and maintain that tension. If you'd like to add in a toe point, you can add in that toe point if you'd like. But the biggest thing here is we're just trying to fire up the core and really wake things up a little bit, get that body fired up nice and slow. From there, we're going to come back up into our plank and we're going to work the bear squat. So like the down dog, we pull back and up, except this time we're going to pull back and down. So we're going to try and stay low, maintaining that same shoulder position. So we will have a neck the entire time we do this movement. So I'm going to get myself set up in my plank. I'm going to space out my feet a bit so they're hip or squat stance. I'm going to pull my ribs and hips together, press through the shoulders, and I'm going to pull straight back into that little squat and come straight forward into that plank again, tightening up in that nice position. So again, pull back. I'm pressing into the floor with those arms and coming straight back out into that nice hollow. So I really want to make sure that those shoulders, those lats are kicking on. So in between each rep, reset the shoulders if we need to, just to make sure that they're in good position before we start venturing back into that little bear squat. Quick recap for you guys. We have an inchworm knee to nose for 3 to 5 reps, into our humeral glide to knee push-up for 3 to 5 reps, forearm plank, 20 to 30 seconds, and then a plank to bear squat for 3 to 5 reps as well. Taking your time, make sure we reset those positions in between these transitional pieces so that we can really emphasize the best movement possible. 2 to 3 rounds, you guys. Pause it, come back to me. We're going to move into the next phase. We're just going to get some dumbbells going and have some fun with that. So we're going to start off our work set today now with a sumo squat. So my feet are going to be pretty wide, but still not wide enough that my knees collapse in as I take my hips down. I'm going to stand super tall, take my hips to my heels, and I'm going to keep my chest up nice and strong as I press those knees out. Nice and solid and strong. We stand tall and work on those good squat mechanics. So I can turn to the side so you can see profile. Have that nice wide position, nice and strong. I take my hips back and down, shooting for the heels. Knees are going out, my weight's through my midfoot, and I stay nice and upright and stand tall. So pay attention to your range. Most people can get a little deeper than they can normally with that sumo, but we really have to pay attention to that back position. So make sure we're not tucking under at the bottom. We're staying nice and solid and neutral. From there, we're going to work on the dumbbell deadlift. So I'm going to pull my dumbbells over so you guys can see. I'm going to start my first one off with a sumo deadlift. So I'm going to stand over top of my dumbbells to get into the set position. So I take my hips back and down, taking hold of the dumbbells. I'll stand, and then I'll take them to the outside for my conventional stance. So my feet come in, my hands are held to the side. I'm going to turn the side so you can see profile. I'm going to pull my hips back to my knees, so my dumbbells come to my knees, and then I'm going to lower down. So I maintain that good back position as I lower the dumbbells to the floor or to my floor position. The hips come back, the dumbbells come to the knees, and I lower down to the legs. Stand tall. My weight stays to the midfoot the entire time. I'm not too heavy heel, not too heavy toe. I'm right smack dab in the middle of my foot, but feeling my full foot contact. So we want to make sure our toes are down on the floor. I'm going to good deadlift them down and keep one dumbbell for my dumbbell swing. Because after the deadlifts, we're going to use that hinge again into our dumbbell slash kettlebell swing. I'm going to show you the first one, holding by the bell. All right, so I'm going to turn sideways again. So the act is just like a jump. I pull the hips and up, and I pull the hips and up. And I'm keeping that body upright and allowing myself to use those legs and hips to get that dumbbell or kettlebell swinging. I want to keep my hands above my knees because we want to keep it to that quick hip and that quick drive with the legs for each rep. The other way I can hold it is kind of like a golf club. So I hold both hands on the handle. This might cut down on your range of motion. It might not, depending on your shoulders. But our feet are going to be squat stance roughly about the same. Same hinging position. Same position for the dumbbell. I'm going to stay mid-foot and try and keep my feet flat for most of the movement. If my heels come off the ground a bit when I extend my hips and knees, that's okay, but we'll have more stability the longer we can keep those feet flat and stable on the floor. Our last option, which I'm quite fond of actually, is the single arm dumbbell swing. So it's the same hip hinge, same everything. The only kicker is I swing with one arm. And I can take it maybe all the way overhead perhaps, keeping my body square. My hand still stays above my knee, and I work through that good range. And then I switch, and I work that same movement on the other side. So we just have to make sure that we work both sides and make sure that they're being balanced out. After the swings, your heart rate's going to be elevated. You're going to go right into 20 seconds of jump squats, or one of the 3 variations. So I'm going to turn to the side. We come into our regular stance for our squat. We can do air squats, keeping my weight through my midfoot, knees tracking the toes, body upright. We can do a fast acceleration. We can also do the non-jumping jump squat, which we squat, we stand up and down. So we get that fast acceleration and that quick pull under. Or we can work the jump squat where we leave the ground and come back into that good deceleration. So one of those 3, depending on how many rounds you do, you could cycle through each one, depending on how many rounds and what you want to work on for your warm-up. There's nothing wrong with doing a different one each time to build to that jumper. So keep that in mind. Our last exercise, we're going to hold some dumbbells overhead. And you can choose to do this a few different ways. We can choose to do double. So I get the dumbbells to my shoulders, my feet come under the hips. I'm going to push press it up, and I'm going to hold tight with double dumbbell overhead. I'll hold this for 30 to 60 seconds. I can also choose to do a single with a front rack, and I'll hold for half the time on one side, and then I'd go half the time on the other side, maintaining that tight glute position, good ribs, and good overhead position. Or I can come down and I can get rid of one of the dumbbells, I can clean it up and pop it up overhead and work on a single arm overhead hold for an allotted time, and then switch sides and set that same time on the other side. We're always, regardless of doing 2 dumbbells, overhead, front rack, combination, or single arm, we're still striving for the same position in that overhead hold. My feet weight through the midfoot, my glutes are engaged to keep my hips nice and neutral, my ribs are in, and the arm is straight as can be, ear just in front of the arm, or arm and ear even with each other. Shooting optimally for slightly behind, but depending on how your shoulders fare with overhead, we'll take the ear and the arm. So keep pressing into that dumbbell, keep holding overhead, keep it strong. Quick recap for you guys. What we have is a sumo squat for 3 to 5 reps, 3-1-3, dumbbell deadlift for 5, dumbbell slash kettlebell swing for 5 to 7, jump squat for 20 seconds, one of those options for you, and then one of those different options for the dumbbell overhead hold for 30 to 60 seconds. 2 to 3 rounds, rock that, take it down, and then you're gonna move into the movement-specific portion of your warm-up. So if there's a workout that has, say, clean to thruster, right, you'll practice a couple clean to thrusters. If there's a movement with, say, some lunges, some burpees, we'll work through a little burpee set, but your body should be prepped and ready for those specific movements now with that nice little piece. So get yourself ready for the workout you're gonna choose, set your timer, take it hard, have some fun with today, you guys. Pick your own adventure day today. So we have one choice out of 4 options. I will have all those options set up on the workout description. Might be a lot to read, but pick your workout, have fun, work for quality, and let me know which one you picked and how it went, everyone. It's gonna be a good day. Lots of good work going down today in the gym and at home. So have a great weekend, you guys. Be safe, have fun. We'll see you again on Monday for a start of a new week. Bye, you guys.